Halio, I love you, honey. So we're going to do a detailed Celtic for you. And thank you for everything. I couldn't do this without you. I appreciate you so much. Let's see, Leo. Holy angels, Holy spirits. To the divine above. Angels and ancestor gods. What can Leo know? Let's pull it. Well, you have 8 cups. Uh-oh. Queen of Wands is in the challenge. 6 swords. I'll make sure you can see the spread. 7 swords. Well, some confusion come in right here. At the top of your spread, you have 5 swords. So the confusion come from a circle. Maybe people talking about you. Let's see. Well, here's the Queen of Cups. 9 cups. You wish a motherfucker would. And the external energy of this Queen of Cups, they're thinking about it. Death card, Scorpio energy, and the Lovers, Gemini energy. Look at the energy there. So, in just in case you haven't noticed, you have a Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups on the board. It's 2 feminines, Cancer and Aries, or a feminine fire sign and a feminine water sign. We will pull from the bottom. Let's dig in. So where your reading's going to start, it's the 8 of Cups. Notice it has the moon in the background. So this is being done behind the scenes. Taking your emotions. You might even be walking away from family. Both of these are Pisces energy. Making your emotional decisions by the action that you take and doing it with confidence. 10 Cups. Bringing your emotions out of a place that felt like home. Everything you planned for has worked out. What is the 8 of Cups? And see the 8 of Cups and 10 Cups. It's going to leave 2. And here's 3 Cups. Third party got to go. Chariot. This is also a Leo that is no longer spending time with family during celebrations. They don't feel the love. The Leo don't feel the love from family. Ooh. So what's the external energy? Because you got 8 cups and the 3 cups was in reverse. That's going to leave 5 cups unemotionally fulfilled. So the external energy, they're reconsidering the emotional confusion, a masculine, when initiating a contract to be enlightened in what love really feels like. And there it is. Slowed them down. Soulmate confusion. Confused about what soulmates really is. Alright. So man or woman, Leo. The way your families treated each other. You know? Sorry. Let me get the video going. The way your families treated each other. The way your families treated each other, you don't want it. If that's what love is, you don't want it. That is the mentality you have right now. If that's what love is, you don't want it. Look at all the cups. And then you having to leave it behind. It's like the more love you give, the more you gotta leave. Aw. I'm asking about an external 10 Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. A rich woman or the Queen of Pentacles, that's an abundified woman. Woman that works hard. Who's the Queen of Pentacles? She's an abundified soulmate. Could be a business owner. Initiation. What is she going to do for the reading? 8 Cups. She's going to allow you to take your emotions out of something, making a final firm decision on your abundance. So This is a pre-empress. This Queen of Pentacles is reflecting on the pre-empress. This is an empress that's stable by herself. She cooks her own cookies and she fixes her own water pipes. You understand me what I'm saying? So, yeah. Where's the divine masculine there then? Page of Pentacles. He sparked a small contract to leave. Communicating with friends about the enlightenment and love. He wants to restart. This masculine wants to restart because of all the confusion for quite some time. Caused the emotional confusion, more confusion, to reconsider the soulmate justice. The spiritually balanced soulmate. Took him a little longer to realize what the spiritual balanced soulmate was. Took him longer to recover from being heartbroken and reflect. Okay, so masculine. This masculine could actually be a mama's boy. If he got locked up back in the younger years, mom be there belly melt and stuff like that. And the masculine here had family. Feminine didn't. Challenge here is the Queen of Wands and the Four of Swords. So Four of Swords automatically has the true sword hidden with the Three of Swords right there on the wall. Hanging that heartbreak up on the wall because not clear in the first place. So this Queen of Wands, feminine fire sign or Aries. Let's see what they're doing. Let's see. What would be the Queen of Wands energy here in the challenge? There's something she didn't know. There's something the feminine didn't know. Yeah. That she's released confusion. She's no longer confused. She's not in the mental imprisonment. She's not struggling mentally. But the masculine is. Because he wasn't. He had it handed to him. He didn't have to self-preserve. This masculine in the reading did not have to self-preserve. And that's what he has to appreciate about the feminine. And there's that small contract. That's the small contract. That's what's going to make it successful. He had to earn his worth to even be in her realm. That's where all the confusion come from. He was confused on when he followed through until the end to manifest the soulmate destiny. But now he knows. He's seen it for what it is because he's carried it and following through with it, being comfortable and focusing on the lover's connection. He had to prove it to himself. And in the foundation, Six Swords. The Magician. This must be what's being leveled here on earth. The Six of Swords is being divinely guided away from untrustworthy situations. Anything that's making you second guess yourself, it's manifesting a move. Moving from problems to be mindful of what you take. You can make your own imagination real, manifesting one's dreams into reality. So manifesting movement. Where's the feminine? It's a transition. Could be relocating. Manifesting to relocate. Okay, the King of Wands, Leo. Page of Wands. She's only going to be interested in the masculine. Only the masculine sparking interest with her. And he's going to have to prove to her that he's her masculine. So that's what's got the masculine over here reconsidering what he holds. Knight of Swords. The Death card. What's the Death card? Before I say anything else, because it's in your advice. Till death do you part. There's the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands clarified his side, and the King of Wands clarified her side. And here's the Queen of Swords. Here's the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Clarifying the interest. Too immature to be spiritually enlightened. Trying to find peace and contentment. Trying to find enough peace. This is an apology. This masculine hopes that the feminine will accept an apology. Without everything blowing out of proportion. And 10 Pentacles in reverse. He wants the contract. He don't want to be shot down. And he knows she's the only one that can do it. Is there any third-party interferences with this? Fake empresses. There's an empress in reverse and the moon. Behind the scenes, there's a fake empress here. So, is that what's being reconsidered through the masculine? Yeah. Following through. He's focusing and mastering and following through with what he looks for. Intuitive blockages, not trusting. When he initiates his emotions, it'll be at peace. But first, he has to know. Be enlightened. Naked baby on a pony with nothing to hide. That this new interest comes with clarity. To the Queen of Wands, about the Queen of Swords. Being unemotionally fulfilled. That's what needs to be left behind. The feminine. This is a feminine that don't want the masculine to be calling exes when he gets mad at her and stuff like that. And that's what he has to realize. And that's what he's got to cut all those off. He can't be calling them for comfort. Yeah, they won't be able to comfort him for what the feminine breaks him on anyway. Yep. Recent past, there's your 7 swords and your 2 cups. So there was deception. This was the deception on the soulmate connection in the past. 7 swords and 2 cups. How much water you think those cups are going to carry? 6 pentacles. That's what had the level. King of Swords. Alright, so this masculine was on a level of strategicy. Thinking about it too much. And that's what kept him here on an earthly level. Where's the feminine there then? Oh, look. The King of Swords. 8 swords. She put the King of Swords energy on him because she knew he was confused about who the fuck she was. Well, what did he think about that? Knight of Cups in reverse. Pisces energy. Yeah. Not trusting. Spiritually balanced. Transitions to move forward. This is a masculine that used to not trust in the spiritual ascensions. They didn't believe in the spirit realm. They didn't believe in things that you can't see with your own eyes. Yep, that would bring a lot of confusion. And so the feminine, she goes to the divine. She's like, hey, I can't help him there. This masculine has to prove it to themselves. Literally. They won't go on anybody else's word. So this is what the test is. You have the 5 swords. Every test from the divine comes in a number 5. So this is a test of the mentality on hold. Conflict, drama, competition, strife, jealousy. Holding on too tight can stop you from moving forward. Something don't feel right with the 5 of swords. Conflict, drama, competition. Well, that's the cycle that has to end, thinking that you're not enough to trust. Thinking that there's not enough trust. If you don't have trust, then it would be untrustworthy. And that's what it's saying. You got to manifest the trust to come in and a reason for it to be trusted. Where's the divine feminine, Leo? 5 swords, 4 pentacle. Here comes the sun, little darling. The enlightenment, happiness, bliss, naked baby on a pony. She's manifesting. She's spiritually manifesting enlightenment. She is bringing her dreams into reality. Well, that's why it's being manifested to move forward with interest, the masculine. Wow. She's manifesting with nothing to hide. She has nothing to hide. She cannot be blackmailed. I mean, we're clarifying the feminine. She trusts herself and she has no blockages. Where's the masculine here? Well, there's the blockage. Queen of Wands and the 4 swords. That's an intuitive blockage. That true sword's under the bed, not seeing it clearly. What's in the true sword under the bed? The hangman. It's him needing to get a different perspective, that he needs to cut himself down. Yeah, love. Not supporting the blessing. Or it was a comfortable stance of the being at peace with the 5 of Wands. Okay, so this masculine has fed the energy. At one time, at least up to 6 years ago, he fed the negative energy. His higher self didn't like it. I mean, you got 5 swords, 4 swords. That's 9 swords. 6 wands, a successful recognition right there. The Queen of Wands, feminine fire sign. 2 wands. This masculine has realized that the family is watching the Queen of Wands. What does he think about that? The Hangman. He's not supporting it. He's ended it. Because this 5 wands, that challenge, conflict, and dramatified circle, this King of Wands, he's unemotionally fulfilled. It's a spiritual argument to look within and reconsider what the emotional decisions that you make when it comes to karmic soulmates. Look at that. When you have one negative person against Leo, you have another negative person against Leo. And that's the judgment causing on the person that caused the judgment on Leo. People that didn't know Leo was judging Leo. And look, you got the feminine over here and the sun and the magician. That's what you have to free yourself from. Death card. It's a transition of freedom on where you go in partnerships and a lover. To initiate a small contract, the Queen of Wands, this immaturity needs a new perspective because the truth has to be perfected when it comes to soulmate love. It's the vibe you carry. It's not the action that you take. If your vibe don't match, it don't match. What you got coming in for your reading is the Queen of Cups, Cancer energy. Being open to receive and healing the nurturing of your need. Well, let's see. They could be planning and preparing. A foresight, an inspiration to take action. Finding an inspiration to take action. Well, oh my gosh, you got the Queen of Wands. 5 Cups. So this Queen of Cups thought the Queen of Wands was unemotionally fulfilled in the lover's connection, sad. But the Queen of Swords, it made her start thinking about it. And what start thinking about it is that she actually acknowledged that the deception, the interference, the deceit, it interfered with the spark of emotions of transition. These 2 women, or one woman carrying a mask, is recognizing that she is the deception in destiny. She is the one interfering in destiny. Because she's been looking into it for quite some time. And through that, she sparked an interest on a dead end when she figured out the feminine was the truth. Soulmate, seeing it for what it is, being free from any burden, peaceful stance. Where the feminine stands, she stands fucking free. Woo! Where's the masculine here in the Queen of Cups and the 3 of Wands? What's the plan and preparation? This is the Queen of Cups, acknowledging he's leaving. He will leave. Behind the scenes, there's no emotions, at peace with responsibility. She's worried about the lover's connection. She's worried the lover's connection is going to touch. Well, it is. Because the internal energy of this Leo reading is 9 Cups. In divine timing, this wish fulfillment will prevail. Everything has turned out well. Enjoy it. Look back on what you have and achieve and set new goals. Assessing the investments of what you wish for emotionally. Where's the feminine? 7 Cups. She's thinking. She got 7 Cups, 7 Wands. And 7 Pentacles, 777. It's through faith and wisdom, honey. She's got notes. Where's the masculine? Well, here he comes. The King of Wands is making that final and firm decision. Breaker, 1-9 on love. Knight of Wands. When it comes to the Knight of Wands energy, they know they got judged for being immature for the offer. The feminine, she is protected from emotional confusion. because she stood up for herself. And that's the 2 Pentacles and the 8 Cups, struggling with walking away emotionally. And that's the 8 Cups. So one of you cannot walk away from family. You can't come out of family because family is the only thing really that's helped you over the years. But the other one of you didn't have family as much as the other one, and that's what needs to be come into consideration here. Your external energy, this King of Swords and Temperance. So there's a masculine here strategically thinking, trying to find peace and contentment with all this confusion. 7 Swords, 8 Swords, 2 Cups. Well now, what is this King of Swords actually thinking about? Trying to seek balance and create a calm atmosphere. Thinking things through from all perspectives. Well, there's destiny, that change, that turning point. Nothing will ever be the same again. This change is going to bring the new energy. The fire energy, Ace of Wands energy. Where is Leo here? A new perspective, a whole new urge of destiny. Leo, where you are is judgment. That breaker 19 calling on the divine. Father, can you hear me kind of thing? 4 Swords. Unknown judgment. The Fool. You don't know how to judge it. You didn't judge it. That's what's going to bring the new perspective. You blocked it. You don't know. You didn't know what the energy was going to be. The Ace of Pentacles. You don't know if it was going to be a fake contract or not. So you blocked it from the get-go. That's why they have to be intuitive to get through. You've blocked them from every realm. Because you had to call for judgment because you didn't see the truth. And that's why this turning point right here is going to bring new energy. Through communicating blocked lovers, temperance. For some reason, you're not going to have to do it, but somebody behind the scene going to be doing it. Like if they're going to be looking you up online, they're not going to be able to find you. Blocked from calling any judgment. Unknown judgment with a new perspective of destiny. And there is the quick communication. There it is. You've said all you can say. 10 Swords and the 8 Wands. You've said all you can say. You're done. What is this external energy doing in the Ace of Wands? They're done. Look. Depleting of the dark side. Undermining the dark side through heartbreak, the Emperor. It's like pouring alcohol on a deep wound. And knowing that shit's gonna burn. Woo! The advice in this reading is the Death card with the Page of Swords. So the Death card is the Scorpio energy. Looking for some truth and some sort of clarity of transition. Being able to grow always means leaving something behind. But taking your time to think before you act. And that's exactly what's going on right here. Having to take emotions out from something that used to feel like home. No longer loving something that's not going to love you back. Temperance, being at peace and contentment. Temperance and the Ace of Wands. Being at peace with new energy. Being at peace with the new interest of destiny. Let's see where they are. Being at peace with coming back from what they walked away from. All right. So walked away from you. You are the one that felt like family. 6 of Swords, but you've relocated the contract. You're done. You left that contract behind. Why? Let's see. Because the 4 of Cups. You felt like your emotions was being ignored in the contract. Ace of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So you turned to the divine. You allowed the divine to help you fix it. You didn't turn to the world. And that's how the potential outcome is going to be. The Lovers and the 3 of Pentacles. Celebrate and love your life here on earth. That's the Lovers' divine union to be able to rebuild. Being able to work together and reach out. The masculine knows the King of Pentacles, Taurus energy, following through with the soulmate heartbreak. They have to break the heart of somebody in the past. Literally. They have to tell them, look, this is how I felt. And it's somebody that they have felt sorry for, really. Not really loved, but felt sorry for. Where's the feminine? That's the soulmate cycle unblocked. She's not delayed. She didn't hold anything back. She didn't. Where's the masculine? Magician. He's the one initiated. He's the one manifesting. He's the one manifesting. What's he manifesting? So that Three of Cups in reverse, he doesn't want to celebrate. Ace of Swords in reverse, because he's not clear. Six of Swords, where he went to find peace, and all this jealousy. There's too much jealousy around the masculine. What are they jealous about? King of Pentacles, Six Cups. Long-term soulmate. In distress because of the past. Didn't support because they held back from saying something because of the challenge. Oh. Shh. They knew the truth. And it's like they didn't pour any more gasoline on it because they knew as soon as they did, they could not fight it from coming out. Untrustworthy circle, conflict, drama, in arguments of the masculine not following through and letting go and cutting himself down and going back to the past life soulmate and to release the stress, anxiety, and sleepless nights, going back to the past life soulmate. So this is an argument that they have with maybe a person in the past. Maybe you're thrown up in their face all the time. And maybe that last time that they had an argument, they said, okay, I will. But to do that, they have to straighten themselves up. But listen, they said it when they were pissed off. You know, when you're pissed off, you're in a different state of mind than you are just sitting in the morning drinking coffee. Yeah, and they said, God, that was some big shoes to fill. Boom, shakalaka. It's going to take them a tower to free themselves. A shocking revelation of an unwanted change and a turning point. There you go. They hung themselves right there. They have to independently cut themselves down from this third-party devil because that stress, anxiety, and sleepless nights, it's done nothing but interfere and intercept with being comfortable, independent, emotionally. You got the masculine here coming out in the King of Cups twice. It's like they've tried to find themselves emotionally 2 or 3 times and be comfortable with it with the Four of Wands. But clarifying through, this is the 10-time fold challenge, the conflict and the drama through the plan and preparation to turn one's back because it's a dead-end offer of destiny. So they're figuring out that wherever they went, it was going to block their destiny too. Not only their emotions, not only their intuition, but their destiny too. Where's the feminine there? Leo, look. The feminine, Emperor energy, she's worried. It stresses the feminine because this contract should have brought new energy. It's a 0-1. This should be the #1 contract. Look at this. It's he's worried because it is the #1 contract. The feminine knows it's stressful. She said it's okay to worry about it. Let's see what she puts at the bottom here. So she says the masculine, he needs to level and free himself from all this stress of arguing with her and go ahead and make the final and firm decision on the contract with a new perspective with the Queen of Pentacles behind the scenes. So the feminine is saying to the masculine, if you need to tell her something, go tell her. Tell her in secret. Just tell her. However she takes it's not on you. So what does the masculine know about what the feminine's saying? Yep. It's his own independent spiritual. It's his spirit, his independent spiritual lesson. Yep. He says, I know. It's the only thing I have left to do. That's what he's saying. It's the only thing that's going to prove that he has spiritually ascended to the divine himself. And that's what's going to turn that wheel. That's what's going to change and turn point. Look at that. Locked in. That's what's going to lock him in. You got the world and the Wheel of Fortune. But you know what? Once you're locked in, this is a spiritual cycle locked in. You got to have 4 keys to get in for the feminine and the masculine. But the feminine gets in first. And then the masculine's stressing. Should I go in? Once I go in, it's locked. There's the door handle right here. And the key. Or, breaking into a door. That's like a hair clip and a lock getting in. But, yeah. Where's the feminine and the Wheel of Fortune in the world? Yeah, 6 cups. She feels good about it. 8 swords. Soulmate connections. Confusing, ain't it? She says. And the masculine, yeah. He's going to justify that heartbreak right there. Spiritually balanced emotions. Seeing it for what it is. Not corrected on earth. What needs to be corrected in heaven. And right there, is where he's going to spark the interest or discover that this offer was the truth, was the hope, the faith, and the balance of his abundance. He struggled with the comfort. The masculine here struggled with how comfortable the feminine's words, conversations was. He was like, ooh, Ace of Cups. It should have been a love they stood up for, but they were blocked because of the Five Pentacles. They didn't think they deserved her. They didn't think they was someone that deserved the feminine because they wasn't in their right energy. Where's the masculine today? Well, that's the Tower, the boom shakalaka of the Queen of Swords. So they're going to bring it down. They're going to bring some sort of shocking energy to the Queen of Swords. You know, clearing the communications, clearing the air, always expecting the unexpected. So what's the masculine going to do with the Queen of Swords here, Libra energy? They're going to do it behind the scenes. So behind the scenes, they are actually feeling good emotionally, this masculine, but through the confusion of feeling left out in the cold and not enough, it's an immature blockage because they're getting a different perspective for quite some time. They're magnifying it, and actually they feel this heaviness on their intuition. They feel it weighing heavy. You know, all that information coming in at one time and overloads. This is intuitive overload. Like your mind not having room to do anything else. And right there, yes. It's going to end up apologizing to themselves where they can move forward clearly. Where they can clarify where they're going and where they're never going back to. In the Chariot, the Cancer energy, you have the Judgment cross on the front of the car. Once you make the judgment, you're protected, okay? But then you can't go back to what you're protected from or you'll get in trouble. It'll cause a big karma. The Chariot, taking your necessities and nothing of your wants. So what are they actually clarifying on what they're moving forward? There it is. They're done. They're depleted. Third party. There's nothing that they need to come together celebrating. Let me see. 3 cups. To be able to master the King of Wands. The masculine's going to master. The masculine's going to master through this soul reflection, shadow work, that the spark of interest to be spiritually enlightened, King of Pentacles, Taurus energy, and follow through and reconsider this circle of jealousy, of Leo, friends. The whole circle is jealous. If you're friends with your person, yeah, these are karmic friends, friends from the dark side. They talk bad about you. Now watching them successfully. Look at that. They're recognizing that everything that these negative people said about you is not true. Not one thing they said about you is true. They can't prove anything. And there's the dark side right there, the magician. You manifested the new energy. Yeah, through the divine realm, justice. Don't ever correct on earth what needs to be corrected in heaven. Justified by the Queen of Pentacles, the other woman. Wow. What the feminine said, the Queen of Pentacles said out loud. What'd she say out loud? Oh, she said it out loud. The 8 Wands. It's a quick communication of the soulmate. She talked the soulmate. She talked about the soulmate because she's looking to come together with a tower. She's looking for a tower. She's wishing for a tower. To see it for what it is. To make a stand when they're emotionally confused. The other woman or the other man is going to talk about you in front of your person, in front of other people that they know that they've talked to you about, to see all of your facial expressions. So be careful of the family functions that you go to. I love you guys. Ciao.